friends, it's Shayla. Sorry I don't have much of a voice, but I wanted to get this started. So I'm going to do a weekly reading vlog this week. Today is November 18th. It's Sunday. I am in the middle of Tome Topple. So I've read one book for Tome Topple so far. I read my Rurouni Kenshin Omnibus. I took my time, kind of read that kind of a volume's worth at a time because it's 3 volumes in one in those. And then I'm reading Snow Crash at work. It's a fun kind of satirical sci-fi. Ready Player One was kind of based on this concept, and so it's been really interesting so far. And then for my more serious read for when I'm at home, I am about to start The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I let you guys choose on my Instagram, and this is what you guys chose. So that's what I'm actually going to dig into right now. I'm strictly leaving Snow Crash for work because that one's got shorter chapters in it as well, so I can easily put it down when I'm at work if I get interrupted or whatever. So that's the plan there. And yeah, so I'm just going to dig in. I'm really enjoying my reads for Tome Topple so far. Snow Crash is about what I expected it to be. It was written in like 2000 or 2001, so it's a bit older. So, you know, I expect to run across some things that now would be considered problematic, but at the time it didn't seem that way. So I'm not one of those people that judges how a book views the world based on now if it was written almost 20 years ago. So I do take all of that into consideration as I read. So anyways, Grace of Kings, not very old, but this is a Asian, it's a certain kind of fantasy. They have a certain term for it. I can't remember it. I'll insert it right here if I remember what it's called. But yeah, this is what I plan on reading right now. This is probably the book I'm most intimidated by on my entire Tome Topple TBR. So this thing is a good 600 pages. It's nice and floppy, thankfully. Hey friends, so it's a little while later. I didn't get too much into Grace of Kings because what happened is I realized when I was trying to film that previous vlog clip that my room was a mess where I read. And so I read the first chapter of Grace of Kings. It's going to be a dense read, but it's going to be good. Like already the emperor of the country was attacked, and that's kind of where we're starting. And, you know, 2 teenage boys got mixed up kind of in the middle of it, so I think it's going to be an adventure. So I'm really looking forward to that. But while I was cleaning, what I'm doing, I didn't mention the audiobook I'm listening to. I'm listening to The Night Circus because that was on my TBR. And I am loving the narration. It's Jim Dale who does all the American Harry Potters. And he's just got that very lyrical, immersive kind of voice. And so I think it's very fitting that he did the narration for The Night Circus, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I listened to that while I was cleaning my room, where the portion of the room where I'll be filming the next couple of days and stuff is now very clean. But I also got a hankering to pick up my ukulele and play for a little bit, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll get back to reading after dinner probably. So if you are ever curious about ukulele stuff, I'm self-teaching myself, so I'm not very good at this point. Eventually, at this point, I'd like to incorporate bits of that into my channel, probably just in vlogs and stuff, nothing too crazy, but I really enjoy music, and that's not something I share very much on this channel, but it's part of my geeky self. So I'm trying to find ways to incorporate that into my channel a little bit more. So we'll see what ends up happening on that front. But for now, I'm going to put down Grace of Kings, play my ukulele for a little bit, get some dinner. We're going to have some lasagna for dinner tonight. And my throat's still sore, so I'm just going to play tonight. I'm not going to sing along while I play. I'm just going to play. But I think I'm going to start working on some Christmas songs because we're kind of getting into that season, and I think that would be really fun. So, yeah. Anyways, talk to you later. friends. Oh, I look like hot mess today. Hey, friends. So, I still have no voice, so I'm going to keep this short, but I finished Snow Crash by Neal Stephenson. This is what it looks like. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars, which is about the same that I gave Ready Player One. This one is a little more dystopian than Ready Player One felt. I mean, more traditional dystopian, I guess. And this was written in 92. Like, it's a lot older. But I really enjoyed it for what it was. It dealt with, like, a viral kind of drug and all the sorts of things. It's really interesting. I'll give you more of my thoughts when I actually wrap up everything. But yes, so that's 2 tomes down. And my current audiobook is still The Night Circus. I'm about 2.5, 3 hours into that, and it's about 15 hours long, so I haven't really done too much on that. But I'm really loving it. And so from here, I don't have another tome with me here at work. So I will probably listen to my audiobook a bit, but I will also, I've got a review book that I forgot I needed to read. And it's my favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. This will be my first Christina Lauren I've ever read, so I hope it's at least decent. And so I'm probably going to start that just because it's a review book and I really need to get it read. And I'm making really good progress. I mean, this is what, day 4 of Tome Topple? And I've got 2 of my 5 down. And I'm working on my 3rd and 4th. And then, yeah, so Grace of Kings is just one that requires a lot of concentration. So I probably won't get too much of that read until work finishes for the week, because it's the week of Thanksgiving here in Utah. We finish work at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, and then I'm not back to work till Monday. So I will most likely do a lot of Grace of Kings during that period of time, because my brain power won't be divided for work stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it'll just be focused kind of there. We are going to do Friendsgiving with one of our friends, and then for Thanksgiving, Hubs and I are mostly going to do it at home. We might go up for pie to visit some of my cousins that are about an hour away. But outside of that, we're pretty much doing our own thing this year, and I'm really kind of excited about it, especially where I'm not feeling well. I don't want to accidentally share something with other people. So if I'm feeling even worse by Thursday, we're obviously not going to go see anybody. But yeah, so I'm going to go work on that Christina Lauren book since I finished Snow Crash, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I finally got myself a proper car mount for vlogging here. My setup isn't exactly perfect. I'll tweak it over time. But I am now leaving work for the day. It's been a really quiet day because it's an office day for me. So once I get the things done for the salon, I watch the supply part, and I then get to read. So it's really quite nice for me. And I do that kind of on purpose because doing hair 6 days a week can be very physically tiring for your body. So I try to not push my body too far. So what I do is I have 2 days a week that I call office days, where I take care of all of kind of the business side of the salon on those 2 days. And then I spend some time just reading and relaxing and just watching the store. So as I was doing that, I finished Snow Crash, as I told you before, and really ended up enjoying it. I would say it's a 4-star read, but you also have to take into account that it was written in 1992, because I don't know that it'll stand up quite as well as something for like 2018, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. And you know, it's one I'll probably revisit at least one more time, but I don't know that I would revisit it like all the time or anything like that. But I found the plot to be very interesting. And then what I did is I had forgotten that I got a NetGalley arc that releases soon, so I need to get it read during this Tome Topple time. And I didn't anticipate finishing Snow Crash while I was at work, so thankfully I had that available on my Kindle app on my phone, so I did that instead. And that happens to be my favorite half night stand, I believe it's called, by Christina Lauren. This is my first Christina Lauren I've ever read, and I have to say I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. Then again, it's giving me all sorts of like warm fuzzies inside because I met my husband on an online dating site. So like their messages back and forth, because it does involve online dating, the messages back and forth feel so much like how my husband and I messaged back and forth, because it felt very natural and just flowed and all those kind of things. So it was really super interesting so far. I'm almost halfway through that now. It's a really easy read. It's like candy. I can just like consume it really quickly, and I'm really enjoying it a lot. So I am enjoying this much more than I initially anticipated I would, but this is also my first Christina Lauren, so it might just be that I'm getting along with this one. I don't know if I'll get along with all of them, but yeah. So anyways, I am thoroughly enjoying it thus far, and I'm really looking forward to finishing that up. But I'm headed home. I need to upload the wrap-up that I filmed yesterday. My throat is finally playing nice for a minute, which is why I can film a longer clip here. But yeah, so I am really excited to keep reading. I'm really liking what I'm reading. I've only read the first chapter of Grace of Kings, because that's what I read yesterday, and then I just did not have the brain function to keep reading because it requires so much concentration. But I am really honestly looking forward to digging back into that one. That's one that I'm going to read like at home. I might have mentioned this earlier, but it's a really short work week for me. Like we're done by 3 o'clock on Wednesday, and then I have the rest of the week off. So I'll probably read a good chunk of it during that time. So since I'm so far ahead, I think until then, I'm just going to focus on finishing this Christina Lauren book. And then from there, I might actually throw in an extra volume of manga or two, because I've got a stack that I still need to read that I'm actually excited to read as well. So I really just kind of need to figure that out. I'm still listening to the Night Circus, still loving it. Jim Dale is a fantastic narrator. I'm about 3 hours into that one now and really enjoying it. I got about another half an hour listened to at work. And, oh, crud. I ended up with a pile of books from Forever Romance, which is a branch of Hatchet. And I accidentally left them all at work. So, anyways, I'll go through all of them in this vlog probably tomorrow. Maybe even at work, who knows. Work tomorrow is going to be lots of haircuts and kind of crazy, so I might not get a chance to do that. But at the very least, I will do that tomorrow evening once I get home. So that's kind of the plan at this point, and I am really looking forward to everything I'm doing right now. It's just fun. I know my life is kind of boring for most people, so take that for what you will, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so it's evening. It's like 5 or 5:30ish in the evening on Monday. And I just finished my review copy of my favorite half night stand by Christina Lauren. And it was so much fun. It has an online dating aspect to it, so it reminded me a lot of when I first started dating my husband. And seriously, it was just a good time. 4 stars, solid book. Was it perfect? No. But I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I will be picking up more Christina Lauren books because I think I'm going to really get along with their writing style. I know there's a few like in the middle in their writing period that aren't so good. So I'm going to, if you know which ones those are to avoid, let me know in the comments down below. But yes, I am very much looking forward to continuing my foray into Christina Lauren in the future. So for this evening, if I read much at all, it's going to be from the Grace of Kings. There's a good chance if I end up... Oh, my brain is so fried right now. I still need to upload my mid-month wrap-up. Haven't done that yet today. And then I am still listening to the Night Circus, so if I do any extra cleaning or cooking or anything like that tonight, we haven't figured out what we're doing for dinner yet. So If it ends up being Chef Shayla, I can listen to that while I cook and all that good kind of stuff. When it comes to shows we're watching through One Piece right now. I'm watching through it for the first time. My husband's watched the first 100 or so episodes, and it is a crazy long running series. We can binge this forever and it'll still take us years to catch up because there's 7 or 800 episodes or more. There's 90 volumes of manga, and I know there's a ton of filler in between, so we're going to try to skip over the filler stuff just because filler, especially in the early days, is really cringy and hard to deal with. So that's what we're watching mostly right now. I would like to catch up on some more Attack on Titan, but that would be after dinner. I can't watch Attack on Titan and eat. It just feels wrong. So those of you who are familiar with Attack on Titan know what I'm talking about. But yes, that's kind of what's going on at the moment. And hey friends, so I wanted to give you a bit of a Tome Topple update. So it is Tuesday. I haven't updated what I read last night. I'm about 80 pages into the Grace of Kings right now. That is definitely a dense and intense fantasy read. So if you are not a fantasy reader on the regular, it's probably going to freak you out because it is dense in its language. The dialogue's nice. The dialogue is accessible enough, but the descriptions are very dense, and I'm barely scratching the surface of the world, the history, any sort of magic that there may be. It is all so, I've barely touched it, and I'm 80 pages into a 600-ish page book, and I still barely know anything. So essentially I cannot bring that one to work. So what happened is I ended up downloading the Darkest Warrior from the Lords of the Underworld series by Gina Showalter. I'll try to put a picture in here, but it's a book I've been anticipating reading for a while. I just kept not wanting to pick up the ebook because I felt like it was overpriced, but it continues to not come down in price. It's been out 6 months, and usually at this point it's dropped further than what it's dropped to now, but I can't wait to read it anymore. And plus, technically, it falls into my Tome Topple, pages reading at least close enough category that it's the perfect one for me to read at work. So I started reading that. It is giving me much more life than I anticipated it to. So essentially, we're following 3 characters that we've met in previous books, but this is just their whole big mess of a story, and I'm really looking forward to this because we're finally getting Gilly, who's this little almost 18-year-old girl who was a friend of one of the other characters early on in the series, who had a really rough childhood, was abused to the nth degree growing up, found solace with this friend that's now brought her into this Lords of the Underworld world because of who she fell in love with, and she's had feelings for this particular character named Liam for a long time. And so it's one of those things where essentially it's a love triangle, but I'm not rooting for who I initially thought I would be rooting for. And that's what's throwing me. Gina Showalter's writing in this series is top-notch. This world is so fleshed out. It is so good. This is one of my paranormal smutty romance series that I tend to just dive and fall into. The reason why I keep playing in these worlds is these books is because the worlds are so interesting to me. It's the worlds that suck me in more than the smut. The smut's there, and it's nice, and it's fun sometimes, but I'm there for the world, and I'm there for the overarching stories and all the connections from all the books. And so it's really fun the further you get into these series because more connections can be made. So it's been a huge blast already reading this particular book because it just is... it's shaking everything up from what I wanted. Now I'm wanting the opposite of what I wanted, and I have mixed feelings, and it's wonderful to have mixed feelings sometimes. This is one of those instances where I like having mixed feelings. I am making progress in the Night Circus audiobook. I'm really enjoying the audio format. I feel like it's sucking me in a different way than physically reading it did. So I think if you either listened to it and didn't love it as much as you thought you would, read the physical copy, or vice versa. Because they're different experiences for me. And maybe just because it's been a minute since I've read, well, it's been like 2 years since I've read the Night Circus, and this is a reread for me, that might be why everything's feeling a bit different, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Anyways, it's lunchtime, so I'm off to go sit down and have some lovely lunch. I'm going to read more of The Darkest Warrior. And, yeah, that's kind of my plan for my work day. As you can tell, I still don't really have a voice. Well, we figured out it's not strep. It's just like something's going wonky with my sinuses, and I'm not draining properly, and that's what's causing the sore throat. So that's why my voice sounds funky. That's why, I'm just kind of miserable and gruff at the moment. So I'm going to go get something to kind of slide down the throat for lunch. It's going to be delish. And, yeah, I'll go from there. I've been rambling for a bit again. In these car portions, I tend to ramble a bit. So, yeah, I've been doing lots of haircuts this morning. It's lunchtime. I'll go back, do lots of haircuts this afternoon. Then I'll go home. And thankfully, oh my goodness, sorry. As far as I know, we don't have anything going on tonight. So I should be able to just dive into Grace of Kings. Okay, friends, it's still Wednesday. Or not Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Because it's late. My brain's a little fried. And I just got out of the shower. And my voice is totally gone at this point. But anyway, just wanted to do a brief check-in. I haven't read any more of Grace of Kings, but I've got plenty of time, so I'm not too worried. I did take a good chunk out of The Darkest Warrior because I had some cancellations today. Happens last minute around the holidays, which really kind of sucks, but it's just kind of what happens in my industry. It's not the same as others. People don't tend to respect my time quite as much as theirs, and so it's kind of disheartening at times. But anyways, so I'm like 3/4 of the way through The Darkest Warrior at this point, and this is like a 500-page book, guys. Like, I'm devouring this monster, and it is so good. I am Team Puck and Gilly forever, and if you're familiar with the Lords of the Underworld series, you kind of know a little bit about what's going on even before you get into this book, but I love them together. I hope they stay together. I hope William, goes on his way and finds somebody else and he gets his own book to find said person. But I really, honestly, and truly want Puck and Gilly together, and I really hope Gina Showalter gives me that. If not, I might cry, because I really like Puck. I like him a lot more than I initially thought I would, because we never, got his perspective before this book. So I didn't fully understand who he was because of the nature in this series. If you're not familiar, each of these, gorgeous immortal men tend to house a demon sin kind of thing. It's really interesting. So they house demons of certain, aspects in their bodies, and Puck's is indifference. And so with indifference, he just seems to kind of, on the outside, not care about a lot of things, but being in his head, you see his war with his demon, and you see that he genuinely cares and fiercely feels, and that's why having indifference was kind of this punishment for him. Anyways, without spoiling so much of the series, if you've not tried the Lords of the Underworld series and you're looking for a paranormal smutty romance, I recommend it. It's been fun. Some of the books have not been my favorite just because of some almost fetish kind of things. So I'll be straight up and say I didn't agree with all of them, but overall, the overall arcing story in this series is fantastic. I really like it. And yeah, it's just been a fun and wild ride, but I had to get on here and tell you that. Good morning, friends. As you can see, I still don't really have a voice, so I'll keep this brief. So last night I finished The Darkest Warrior. It was fantastic. I really liked how that came together at the end, and it just made my heart super happy. So that was a total win for me. 4.5 stars. I very rarely give paranormal smutty romances above a 4, so that just tells you how well written this particular one was. They used a plot device where they took a character who was 18 and basically partially made her immortal. Well, they did make her immortal, and in doing so, they used this time period where she was in a different realm than the guy character, and so she aged like, because in that realm, time is very different than it is in our world, and he was in our world. So in like 3 to 4 weeks time here, she aged 500 years and gained a lot of life experience and figured out who she was and what she wanted in life, rather than being this naive 18-year-old girl who had a really rough upbringing. And I think that really helped the story a lot, because then she didn't just blindly fall into this relationship with this immortal man. She had 500 years of life experience behind her. During that time, she was able to overcome the stuff from when she was growing up and become this warrior woman. And I love how they handled that, because it also made her realize who, between the two guys, she really still felt feelings for. And it was really, really good. I really loved exactly how this one played out. It was definitely by far one of my favorites in this particular series. So if you haven't tried the Lord of the Underworld series, I do recommend this one. You can read them out of order, especially this one, because it doesn't involve a lot of the other characters. So you can definitely just jump into this one. You'll be a little lost in world context, but outside of that, like, character-wise, it doesn't do anything to ruin it. So you could jump into that one if you wanted, but I digress. Anyway, so what's going on is now I'm on my last day of work for the week, thank heavens. I'm just glad I slept last night, because I have not slept well the night before last. And I slept much better last night. Still not perfect, but I figured out I just can't lay all the way down, because we've just figured out it's head cold gone wrong and my sinuses are all over the place. And at this point, I think my throat's just so raw that that's why I sound like this. It doesn't matter how much I drink, I think it's just raw. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is my light and fluffy read while I work my way through Grace of Kings is going to be book 2 in the Dragon Watch series. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Connor from over at Connor O'Brien. If you're not following Connor, shame on you. Like, his channel will be linked, because he's fantastic. He's one of my favorite content creators. If you're looking for how to do a good review, go watch one of Connor's. His are fantastic. I'm trying to model mine more in a way that he does his, because I really admire the way he does his. So yeah, I'm really excited to be buddy reading with Connor again. This is our second buddy read this year. Earlier, it was actually during the last Tome Topple that we did a buddy read, so this is really funny. But we buddy read Legacy of Kings. Neither of us really liked it. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't what we were thinking we were going to be walking into. But anyway, yeah, we are both really excited for the Dragon Watch book. We both really like Brandon Mull as an author, and we've both read the entire series up to this point. Not together, but we've both read it. So it'll be really interesting to buddy read a book by an author we both enjoy together. It'll be really fun. So that's the plan. I need to stop talking, so I will check in with you later.
Hey friends, it is now Black Friday. I have a little bit more of a voice today. Yesterday I really didn't have one at all. That's why you just kind of got some clips of yesterday. But I spent the morning reading Grace of Kings and I just finished. And it was really, really good. It's technically a silkpunk novel, but I felt like it was very much a political charged fantasy. And I really enjoyed it for what it was. I would probably say 4 stars right now, just because it was so dense and a little hard to get into. But I really did enjoy this. And I feel like the characters were well developed and their motives were pretty clear. So I'm excited to see where this series continues to. I don't know how many books there are going to be. I know there's at least one other out and another one coming. So I know it'll at least be a trilogy. But beyond that, I'm not 100% sure. But yesterday I did do some reading in Fablehaven. Well, Dragon Watch. It's a Fablehaven book. This is my buddy read with Connor from over at Connor O'Brien. I'm about halfway through. I'm really loving it. I'm loving what Brandon Mull's doing with this world and this story. I think I see some things coming that I'm not sure I want to see, but I see them anyway. So I am interested to figure out where this is headed. So now that I've finished Grace of Kings, I think I'm just going to focus on Wrath of the Demon King and get this finished before I start my last tome that I have picked out for Tome Topple. So I think I'm going to spend, this afternoon doing some reading. I did some online shopping this morning, but I'm not really a huge Black Friday shopper. So again, since I don't have much of a voice, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this clip here and dig into Dragon Watch, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, friends, I'm back. It's a couple hours later, and I just finished Wrath of the Demon King by Brandon Mull. This is technically book 7 in the Fablehaven world, but book 2 in the Dragon Watch series of this. I really enjoyed this particular middle grade. I like the series anyway, but this Dragon Watch series has been on even another level than the Fablehaven books, and I've really been enjoying them. I think they're a lot of fun. They're great, fun adventure stories. They don't dwell too much on any romance or anything, but they're action-packed. They're really fun. They're really clever. I really like how things go down in the books, and they're just a good time. These are definitely upper middle grade, early YA kind of age range, and they're really fun. Thanks again to Connor for being my buddy to buddy read this. I know Connor's been traveling, so it's been tough for him to get some reading time in, but I definitely had a good time reading this, and I can't wait to hear his thoughts more once he gets a chance to check in. But yeah, I really enjoyed Dragon Watch. I think now I'm going to take a break. I'm going to watch some TV, maybe read some manga. I'm just going to chill for a little bit. I might not even start my next tome till tomorrow, just because I've been reading a lot the last 2 days, and so I think I kind of want to step back, take a little break, jump back in tomorrow. I do have to go into work for a couple hours tomorrow because one of my clients from Wednesday rescheduled, and Saturday was the best day, so we did that instead. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Again, sorry my voice isn't fully back. I'm trying to not keep these clips very long for that reason. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my reads for Tome Topple, as well as the other things I've been reading as well. So it's been a good time. I'll probably listen to some more of the Night Circus today. I haven't listened to too much of that in the last couple. So that doesn't require my brain power so much. I just get to listen and enjoy. So I'll probably do some listening today. Hey friends, so it's like 6 p.m.-ish on Friday, 6:15-ish. I did read a couple volumes of manga. I left them in the clip. So it was Shortcake Cake Volume 2 and Overlord Volume 8. I liked them both. Shortcake Cake is becoming a series that I'm really gonna get along with. I'm really enjoying it. And what I've decided is I still need a little bit more of a break from the dark fantasy before I jump into dark immolation after finishing Grace of Kings because it was very dense. And so I just need something fluffy for a minute before I jump back into that. So I think I'm going to pick up a historical smutty romance in The Rogue Not Taken by Sarah Maclean. I've not read anything from Sarah Maclean yet. So I decided to give this a try. We'll see how I feel about it. This is one of the smutty romance authors that BookTube seems to really like, so I want to give her a try. And yeah, so I think that's the next read I'm going to do. Dark Immolation won't take me too long once I get into it, but I think I just need one more kind of palate cleanser read before I dive into that. And I do have some manga I could read right now as well. I've got, more Ouran High School Host Club I could read through. And I've also got the next omnibus of Neon Genesis Evangelion. That one's a little heavy, so I want to wait till after Tome Topple to read that one. But I just need fluff. And so I think that's why this one's going to fit really nicely. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to dig into Dark Immolation. Hey friends, so I haven't checked in yet today. It's now Saturday, the last day of this particular vlog. I haven't read anything yet today. I've been running around a little bit. I had to go into work for a little while, and then I went to lunch with one of my girlfriends, and we chatted for quite a while. And then I had to run by the bookstore, oh goodness, to pick up some Christmas presents. So that's what I've been up to so far today. I'm now going to sit down and relax for a little bit and read more of The Rogue Not Taken. I got 130 pages into it last night. I'm really enjoying it, though it is really fun. So I'm going to sit here and eat some ice cream. And I'm going to just enjoy reading my book. We're going to do Friendsgiving with some friends here tonight. Here's the Hubs. Aww. He's so cute. Anyway, so we're going to do Friendsgiving with some friends tonight, so I might take some B-roll clips of that, but I don't know if I'll do another talking check-in because my voice still isn't fully back. But yeah, I picked a really bad week to vlog because I've had no voice. But anyways, I hope you guys like this vlog anyway. This week has been a really good reading week. I've gotten quite a few of my Tome Topple reads done. I'm still working on the Night Circus. I've got 7 hours left, so I'm about halfway through it. So I'm hoping to get that finished by the time Tome Topple's over. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan right now. I'm going to read, eat some ice cream, relax, and then we'll do Friendsgiving, and then that'll officially be the end of this vlog. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Sorry if my voice was so hard to understand. If I have the time, I'll add closed captioning to this. But yeah, the most part is just going to be pretty music. So anyways, talk to you guys later.